Hey everyone, welcome back to Red Bandit Racing. Welcome back to the channel. As you guys can see, we got the X-Maxx, we got the new motor. We're going to be installing the EZRun 5690 brushless HobbyWing motor. This is the 1250 kV. This is the censored, so we're going to throw this in. I got a motor mount here from BowHouse. You guys probably have seen this before. This is a great motor mount and we'll explain why. Also, I'm going to be changing some of the gears around. I did get the 50-tooth spur. I'm going to change from a 46 to a 50. I'm going to keep the 20-tooth pinion, but I have to get an 8mm bore pinion to fit this, so I went with the Arrma pinion. So that should fit just fine. Both of them are hardened steel. So we're going to throw those in. We're going to check this out. Obviously, this is not the ultimate. I love the body. Will got me this for Christmas, so this thing matches great with the arms. I think it looks great. So let's check it out. Also, we got some other projects laying around. We can check those out real quick. We got the XRT here. Now, he did get the wrong axle, but he's going to get the right one. The 7750, I believe, is for the X-Maxx, but he needs the other one for the XRT. So he's going to order those. He did get a 46-tooth spur gear and a 20-tooth pinion, both hardened steel. So that's gonna work really well. Actually, I'm sorry. This is a 46. So he's gonna stick with the 46. You might switch to a 50. We'll see how this thing runs. But yeah, we got to fix the axle. The front one's still really, really bent on this side. Oh, as you can see it, look at that. It's almost hitting. It is hitting the shock. So he's gonna have to probably replace both front. He's also gonna buy new tires because these things did not hold up. Now, obviously, you guys saw from the Creighton big crash, we almost got this thing done. We got the new chassis on there and everything, but we found some more broken parts. And unfortunately, all the parts that we got for it are the right ones, but there were 2 additional broken parts. So we're gonna have to replace those right here. So that broke right there. So unfortunately, that video is gonna be a week late. So, but we will get this one out. We will do the long jump. This is gonna be a big video. That was a nasty crash. Chassis is on the wall of bent chassis. Obviously the sledge doesn't look too bent, but it is bent. This one is clearly bent. We also got the HobbyWing EZRun for the Bandit. We're gonna be putting this on the Bandit. This is the Max 10 combo, so motor and ESC. I got some new shock tires that we're gonna put on because the other ones are scraped up from the last speed run. This Bandit will be getting an overhaul to a 4000 kV. We're gonna see this thing ripping pretty soon. All right, so as you can see from the package, it's got your censored on it. This is the EZRun 5690 G2 brushless motor, 1250 kV, suitable for your 1/6 scale, but this will work on your 1/5 scale. So I don't know why it says that. Let's get this open and check this out. They do package these very well. There we go. Let's see what else it comes with in the packaging. Comes with your instructions. Get rid of the box. Does come with some extra bullet connectors. Wow, that is a honking motor. Look at that. This thing is huge and it's so smooth. I like how smooth that is. And just so you guys know, this is completely sealed. If you take the bottom cap off, this is actually has an O-ring inside that helps keep it sealed, which is great. So this is waterproof. As you can see from the back, you can't see the bearing because it's sealed, which is even better. So this should handle getting wet perfectly fine. You won't have to worry about wearing these bearings out. So yeah, let's go ahead and check this out. We're not going to use these. I believe these are a bigger size for maybe a different ESC. Let's go ahead and check out the motor mount. There we go. Got some screws. Comes with a band clamp. Comes with a shim. And here is the mount. That is a nice mount. This shim right here, you put it right there and it helps to support the motor so the motor's laying flat. It's got 2 right here. I'm guessing it's different sizes. Maybe it's tapered so that it increases as you go forward. I'm not sure, or it's maybe for longer or shorter motors. I think they use this tape for shimming tape. So you can actually put it on the motor and you can help shim it a little bit. I think I've seen guys do that. Let me know down in the comments what you guys think, but this band clamp is nice. This is gonna go around the motor. And once we get this installed, let's go run it and check it out. Unplug it right there. There we go. All right, let's flip. Let's go ahead and get this cover off real quick. Go ahead and shake that motor. Pop it out just like that. So as you can see, we're not going to be using any of this anymore. We're not going to be using the mounts or the pins. All right, now while we're in here, let's go ahead and swap out the spur gear. You guys can probably hard to see, but you can pretty much just pop that out. Pop this guy right out. Ooh, that's a little rusty in there. Looks like a little moisture got in there. That bearing's holding up really well. I know a lot of people didn't like the bearings that came with that through GPM, but they seem to handle pretty well. So I don't see a problem just yet. They haven't really worn out. So I'm gonna clean that up. Pin's a little dirty, but it'll be okay. Let's make sure these bearings are okay, because it looks like some extra moisture got in there. Oh, that bearing feels great. I think it's just a little moisture got on the top there. I'm not too worried about it. We're gonna go with Hot Racing. I personally like Hot Racing more than other brands. Just because I haven't had any problems. If you guys don't have any problems, I would just stick with them. If you guys do seem to have some problems, which I have heard some people say that they don't like the Hot Racing and they typically go with GPM or Vitavon, that's fine. I mean, it's whichever one you guys prefer. Use one that you guys are more comfortable with. Bolt that out just like that. Grab the new one. There we go. Pop it right back in. That's all ready to go. And there we go. The reason why we're going with the 50 and we're taking out the 46, putting a bigger motor in it, and I don't want the temps to get too hot, even though the temps for this motor, it can handle up to 212 degrees. So you definitely want to keep it under 212, but it can handle 212. So I'm not too worried about the temp, but I'm going to reduce the gearing on it just a little bit and find a sweet spot that I kind of like so that we don't damage anything. All right, let's go ahead and mount the motor. So obviously I want to have the wires straight up because that's probably going to be the easiest way. So I'm probably just going to line it up. I think that's going to be the perfect spot for it. All right, let's go and put that on and shim it and see what it actually does. Sorry guys if I sound kind of weird. Everyone here is getting over a cold, so we're kind of just, everyone's trying to get healthy right now. All right, let's put that on. Let's get the screws that it came with. Once we, oh, sorry, they're right in front of me. Once we know where we're going to put it, I'm going to go and throw some Loctite on these screws. But until then, let's just go ahead and see where we're going to mount this. Let's start with the ones right there. Now where that's going to sit, well, that's not going to, I don't think that's going to work for that motor, guys. Look, that's going to angle it out too much. I don't think that's for this motor. Let's take that shim out. I think for this motor, I don't think we're going to need a shim for this motor. Obviously, you can see the size and difference in these motors, and that's probably why they shim it. The reason why you want this is because when the motor's on here and you land and take a big hit coming down, the motor floating on the bracket is the weight's going to pull it down. And the reason you want to shim it is it supports the back of the motor and it takes that load away and it won't flex down and the motor is more supported. And that's why you want to make sure it's shimmed. Now for this motor, I don't think we're going to be doing that, but I might go ahead and put some tape on this. This spacer is probably meant for motors that are a little bit smaller than this one. This one is actually taking up the space it needs. So we're going to go ahead, it's like foil. Let's go ahead and put this on here. Ooh, that is some strong tape. Just like that. And all I'm going to do is I'm just going to double it. Just like that. I'm going to go ahead and cut this end off because we don't need that. I don't like using a whole lot of Loctite for stuff like this. I use just enough to make sure that it's secure, but I'm not going to have any trouble taking it off when I remove it. That is a massive difference. We're going to be using the Arrma Pinion because this one actually fits just right onto this motor. And the reason why I say that, we're not going to be using the clip that it comes with, so we'll use that as a backup for something else. But the reason why I like this, because this is D-shaped, so this actually fits perfectly on this, and it helps keep it aligned just right. Some on the motor shaft itself, because as that sets, that's going to help keep this on. There, now we got our mount all set up with the motor. This thing is looking pretty good. Everything's tight. Got the Loctite in there drying. Let's go ahead and fit this in. All right, so what I'm not liking is it's this wire, it's too close to this wire. It's gonna be smushing it and I don't want this wire to get damaged. So I'm wondering if we need to pop this ESC out and flip it around. We may have to flip it around. Let's go ahead and we're gonna kind of go and do that. Let's go ahead and flip it around and we have to remount it. All right, so as you guys can see, I flipped the ESC around. That way the censored wire is on this side and the wires that go to the receiver box are on this side. The reason I did that is because these wires right here are a little bit thinner and they can be pressed up a little bit more, whereas the censored wire is a little bit bigger and it's touching the motor too much. Swapping it around gives me enough room to go ahead and mount this motor. Also, as you guys can see in the bottom, I had to shave it down. This motor is just, this is probably the biggest motor you can put into this X-Maxx. That fits just fine in there. Now, if you guys are gonna go with the bigger motor, you're gonna wanna get the motor mount risers. Now, HobbyWing does make the risers where it lifts the motor up a little bit and that gives you a little bit more clearance. That also helps you with gearing. So it really just depends on what you're putting this motor in. But for this application, we don't need anything else. We had to make some minor adjustments and we got it to fit just fine. So now we got that in there, everything's hooked up. Now the power wire, I'm gonna put some batteries in here, see if this gets in the way. I may put this power wire, maybe right here, I'm not sure. I gotta make sure the battery doesn't hit it. All right, so I went and checked everything. This motor mount, these do not protrude past the motor mount bracket, so you don't have to worry about these going into the motor if you're going down too far. But screwing these in all the way, I'm pretty sure you can use the stock screws, but that's how much you're left with. That's almost the same amount left after coming through the chassis, even with the support washers. I think what I'm gonna do is, just to be safe after measuring that depth, I'm gonna go down just a tad on the screws to an M4 by 16. And if you look at those, that's that's a slight difference. That's like adding maybe 2 or 3 washers. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put a little Loctite on it and it should be just fine. It's gonna have plenty of thread catching, so I'm not too worried about it. And I'm gonna use a little bit of Loctite just to make sure that it's secure. All right, so as you can see where the pinion is right there, we're gonna have to move the motor over just a little bit. It's actually good right there. So what I'm gonna have to do is I'm gonna have to carefully tighten this down from the bottom. So that's tight. Look at that, perfect. All right, so let's get this fan off. I'm not gonna be using this fan anymore. I'll have to find an alternative fan to use because this will not fit over this beast of a motor. Oh, and also, if you guys, let me know in the comments, this cover. I'm gonna have to figure out what to do with this cover because with this motor mount, you're not gonna be able to use this cover. So there's gotta be a way to go and cover this up to seal it. Just let me know. I've seen guys use the Vitavon cover, but just let me know what you guys have seen. I'm gonna look some stuff up and see if there's a replacement cover that I can use for this. Just careful plugging it in. I'm gonna go and probably secure that right here. All right, so what we're gonna have to do is A, B, and C. I'm just gonna take these. I'm gonna pinch them together a little bit because this is going in really tight. Shouldn't go in this tight. That's a little loose. If it's a little loose, it's okay. You can just take it and spread some of these out a little bit. That's good. These are really tight, by the way. This is why I'm doing this. There you go. Sometimes you're gonna have to grab the wire and really push it down. Like put it around that wire right there and maybe zip tie it over here. I might do that because when I put a fan on, I'm gonna want room to put a fan on. Let's let this dry just a little bit and let's go take it for a rip. All right, let's get everything turned on. All right, let's see how this thing goes. Now it's got a little more kick. Ooh, a little bounce on the grass. Nice, it's got a lot of punch right now. Ooh, save the bicycle. Ooh, it's got a lot more kick now. I'm barely bursting the throttle. I did up the punch to 7. Just gonna hit the ramp a little bit what we're gonna do is we're gonna bring it out, really bash it in a later video. We're just testing it right now. See how it handles. Wow, I could almost hold that wheelie all the way down the field. It definitely has a lot more kick. On a different ramp, this thing's definitely gonna be a beast. And I definitely have to check out how that new 20-50 ratio is gonna be up from a 20-46. So we'll see how that turns out. If I feel like the temperatures are down, I might go ahead and put it back to a 20-46. This motor can run up to, like I said, 212 degrees. We don't want to get it to 212, but it can handle it. Also got to find a fan. I got to find the fan that's going to fit this. Woo! Flip that top right off. Now, GPM does make a hinge clip on the back that's aluminum and it locks into place. It actually solves that problem. I might go ahead and get one of those. The only thing is, man, GPM really must love that hinge pin charge. What is it, $50, $60 for that clip? So, I know you guys want to see more, but we just wanted to jump it a little bit. See how it has definitely a wheelie machine. So this thing's gonna have a lot more power. Woo! Ate that dirt. All right, so a few things I want to show you guys that we did. Ooh, definitely got dirty up in here. So the mesh is perfect. I like how the mesh went. The teeth are nice and straight. Everything looks real good. I should let that dry though. Now, the one thing that I see a lot of channels aren't telling you is one thing was about the screws. Obviously, you guys don't want those screws being too tall because they'll bottom out on the motor mount. So you guys want to make sure that you use the right screws. Also, the voltage wires that the stock X-Maxx 8S comes with, it's the voltage wires that go typically from the heatsink to the receiver. Now, you have to run those wires. If you're going to run the HobbyWing combo, you're not going to need those wires, but you have to leave them in. Otherwise, the receiver isn't going to read that voltage and that red light's going to come on. And I don't see anyone talking about that. What you guys can do is, if you guys need help with this, I'll definitely make a video on it. But you could go into the Link app, go to your X-Maxx, go ahead and duplicate your X-Maxx and select a different vehicle. Select like a Max or Rustler, anything like that. Select that and use that as your X-Maxx. What that's gonna do is that's gonna trick the receiver to think that it's a Max. And then you can remove those voltage wires and get rid of them. That way you don't have any of those wires. And I think they honestly don't even know why they do that on the X-Maxx. I don't know if it's for safety reasons, but you don't need it if you're gonna run the HobbyWing setup. I would just go ahead and remove it. As you saw, everything runs great. Now on this cover, what do you guys think about this cover? No one has talked about the gear cover. So do you just not run a cover anymore on this? I wonder if I should buy an extra one and just cut it out. All right, that'll do it for this upgrade. I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you guys have any questions, please let me know. I'm trying to show you guys as much detail as possible in doing this because a lot of other videos aren't showing those details. Not to put those videos down, but for someone who doesn't know how to put this stuff in, I think it would really help those really go into detail. So stay tuned for some bashes, and we're gonna send this thing. We're gonna do some verses. We also got a special thing since you guys waited till the end. So let's go back home to the shop and check it out. Thanks guys for staying to the end of the video. We want to do a special giveaway. Cow RC reached out to us and they want to do something special for our 10,000 subscriber video. They made us a custom mat. They put our logo in one of their custom mats. This looks really great. You can take these out. It's got really nice inserts for all your guys' parts. This is such a nice mat, and they went ahead and they made us some extra little ones. Now, these ones are not gonna be part of the giveaway. We are gonna give these out to select viewers that have been part of the channel for a long time. We also got some cleaning supplies. These are going to be in a later video. We're going to go into detail on how you guys can keep your car clean. We got the Moo Clean Tire Wash, the Moo Slick, the Moo Clean. That's a degreaser. You also got the Moo Clean Parts and Chassis Wash and the Hide Wipes. I have not used the Hide Wipes before, but this is such a big container. I might get a couple of these because these work really, really well. This stuff I've never used before. It's cow snot. So it's pretty much like that stuff that you put on your car and you put it on your dashboard and it just pretty much picks up all the debris. We're gonna try that. That looks pretty cool. The work light. I love the work light. It's got a timer. You can charge your phone. You can dim it. You can change the color of it. It's got some cool skins. This light really works really well. This light right here, it's a headband. This is a dual light. This thing is so bright. Let me see if I can turn it on. Look how bright that is. You can put a lower, you can put dual, turn those off, or you can use the side light. And these batteries last forever. This is such a cool product. If you guys want to check out Cow RC, use RBR10 as your discount code. You'll get 10% off. All the information about that will be down in the description of this video. Again, this giveaway is for this mat. These will be given away to select viewers. And this will be in a later video because we're going to try out some of their other products. To learn how to enter, everything will be down in the description. This is completely free to enter. You don't have to be subscribed, but it does help the channel if you do like and subscribe. We are going to be doing more giveaways in the future, so stay tuned. So thank you guys for watching. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. Check out our Patreon, check out our Instagram page, and we'll see you guys on the next one.